Hello and welcome to another episode of Film Freaks with a Z, the podcast all about movies. Each episode is about a particular movie, and we'll get to this episode's movie, in a little bit. Boy, I've done this like 200 some times. You'd think I could get it right once in a while. If you want to go ahead and join the fan vote, that always happens during Tay's episode. And you, the listener, get to choose movies for us to watch, and you can vote on the movies during that episode. And the lucky winner is here with us today, which we will, of course, get to right now. Welcome in Lucy for like the 50th time. Welcome in.
Welcome.
You're talking about it's my first time here, obviously.
Ah, yes. First time.
Who is this?
And along with Lucy, I am Yemmy the Ferret, and I'm also here with...
Greedy Waffles. Hey, Mation.
Ray Positivity.
It's a weird intro today, folks. I don't know what the heck happened.
No.
It's a Monday. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's a Monday. Yeah, we gotta switch it up a little bit. You know, I'm trying to warm up. You know, we gotta get ready for season 4 coming up here.
Yeah.
I gotta switch things up. I've been doing it the same since the beginning, since episode 1.
Yeah, does the new person replacing Greedy, do they go to the end of the line or do they stay in Greedy's spot?
That's a question.
That is a good question, and I was thinking
I
about
guess
it.
we'll find out at season 4.
I guess so. Yeah. We'll
Stay tuned.
Suspense.
Yeah,
The suspense.
I say seniority, but suspense.
How is everyone doing today?
Doing good.
Yeah. Staying warm.
I'm sleepy, but
Yeah.
I'm good.
The Monday blues.
The Cleveland Browns don't play anymore, so I'm great.
Listen, nothing is more embarrassing than that Steelers game, though.
I don't know
Packers, for
about
that matter.
No, I think the Browns had plenty more embarrassing things.
That Ravens game was pretty embarrassing, especially at the end with the 300-pound lineman picking off the ball.
Yeah.
Never happened before, you know.
The heaviest
That's true.
interception ever.
How do you not see him? Like, see, now you're gonna get me worked up. Stop it.
I'm not getting you worked up, but we're going to cool you down because we're going to talk about today's movie, which was picked by Lucy. What do you got for us?
Well, today's movie is a bit of an older movie. It is the original X-Men that came out in 2000. The director was Bryan Singer. That's an interesting name. We got... Y'all know the cast, so at least most of you probably do. You got Patrick Stewart, Hugh Jackman, Ian
Huge?
McKellen.
Did you call him huge?
Jackman. Yes, Hugh Jackman. He's still
not see
huge.
those fires?
he's not- he
Lucy's
wasn't
thinking of
that
that
huge.
6-pack.
He wasn't
Yeah.
that huge in this one.
Well,
Kind of like he's saying he was a mid-huge.
Yeah, and, he got huger for the other ones.
he got
Nope.
bigger.
I like the word
Bro.
huger.
I like huge Jackman. We can keep it huge.
Yeah, he is huge. We got butcher some of these. Famke Janssen,
Jansen.
Jansen, James Mawson, which you see from the Sonic movies, Haley Berry, Anna Paquin, Tyra Main. I'm just gonna last one. Two more. Ray Park and Rebecca Romijn. Ray Park was Star Wars.
Was also in Star Wars, yes.
Yeah.
Darth Maul.
Yeah, his
Darth Maul.
IMDb pictures Darth Maul.
Basically.
He also,
Yep.
I mean, can't
also
go higher than that.
showed his wiener on Instagram.
Did he?
Good.
Dirty.
That took a turn.
There's a fun fact for you. Starting off hot today.
Speaking of hot, I'm just kidding. Start off with Mystique. In this movie, I'm not sure if they just weren't sure what to do for character, but she really didn't have much of a speaking part in the original voice. She had like one. I think she only had like one line in the original voice. You know, it was just Mystique.
in the
Oh, yeah,
chopper.
None of the villains, like if you notice, besides
Yeah.
Magneto, they all had like 2 lines throughout the whole movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like
They're just
you
fodder.
have the- yeah.
They were
Sabretooth
the
had the
silent
most.
deadly.
I feel like Sabretooth had the
Yeah.
most lines. 'Cause he's just growling and yelling.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but
Despair.
actual dialogue lines, he's "You owe me a scream, and you still owe me a scream," or
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
like that.
Peak cinema.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sabretooth was basically the main side villain they got because, Toad and Mystique, they're just like, yeah, we're here. We do some evil things, sure, but say for some reason, let's just get Sabretooth in here for our main gist of people.
I'm trying to think of like popular characters during the 2000s, and comic book characters obviously weren't very popular then. They were kind of on a downturn, which is why Sony acquired so many Marvel characters.
Yeah.
But I think the characters that they got for this movie were like the big ones. Obviously, they're obviously missing a couple. But for like a first X-Men movie, I think they had like an all-star cast for it. In terms of like mutants and even like the people they cast for everyone, I think they fit the bill pretty well here.
Yeah. I mean, from the the 90s cartoon, they were missing Gambit and Beast, and Morph was made up for the 90s cartoon, so it's like fine that he's not there, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Um.
and obviously this was like a origin story for Rogue and stuff, so she's still just young.
Speaking of Rogue, because no one else has anything else to add.
Wow, no, it doesn't.
No one
Well,
else
I
on
was
it,
gonna
but-
say with the Mystique thing, I think that she fit the role that they had her play, which was just kind of be every single character every so often. And she, I mean, someone who was writing this movie had a foot fetish because she uses her feet in that one scene, and it's just oh my god.
I was gonna say that. I was like,
Oh
wow.
yeah, they definitely. I mean, her character does use the sexuality even in Days of Future Past, but it's like, we got blue toes, so we got to specialize in that. We got to show everyone our blue toes everywhere.
It was just a very, very foot forward for her.
Wow.
I've always thought, like, I don't know why they decided to go that direction with Mystique, because like in the comics and the cartoon, she wears like clothes.
Sex sells.
I guess they just wanted to
yeah.
show that animation for changing her skin as much as they could.
Yeah, probably.
It's like we spent so much money on this, we got to use it.
Yeah, I'm sure the budget was pretty high for the special effects because they showed that a lot. Like it was like at least 5 or 6 times they were like, and she's transforming. Not usually in broad daylight, but yeah.
Yeah.
She's
So
there.
we think of 2 things about this. One, her blue design is a bit different than what we see in the future X-Men movies. And 2, this is the only movie where Mystique actually copied abilities from the other X-Men, as you see Wolverine's claws.
Well, if you notice, the claws, they weren't. I mean,
strong. Yeah.
well, yeah, they're not adamantium. Wolverine's powers are not his claws. He has claws. She can mimic materials. So that's the only ability she was able to mimic. And, she can make them knives, but, they're not. I guess, would they be knives? They're like flesh?
Just kind of like skin. Yeah, skin.
Yeah,
claws,
like obviously
chicken.
adamantium just like cut right through
Yeah.
like butter. So
I wasn't expecting, even if his power is for the copy like full adamantium claws. But it's like I don't think we ever really saw her do something this like similar to this in the other movies. Because I know like kind of her transform, but it's everything it's been either been hand-to-hand combat or it's just she what's a gun in Days of Future Past. I never see her use Wolverine's claws or use any.
My favorite mutant
Anything else.
ability is pistol.
I
So
do think it's weird that like they kind of like when she's like an acrobat kind of thing or whatever, but like they gave her like she's like climbing up pipes backwards and stuff. I was like,
Yeah.
what is that supposed to
Upside
be a
down.
Power? Yeah, I was like, is that supposed to be
Upside
part of her
down, backwards.
power, or like she just does this stuff effortlessly? It
Yeah.
was
She's like, I'm a trained assassin or something like that. I can
yeah.
disobey the laws of physics.
I mean, in later movies,
Yeah.
she also is very acrobatic. It's kind of
Yeah,
kind of part of her shtick. But I do like she just pulls out a pistol in Days of Future Past. It's like, yep, that seems about right. But you're a mutant, don't you have a power? Yes, it's pull trigger on gun.
Like especially because getting off topic and Days of Future Past, she can adapt. Like her cells can adapt to any danger. It's like, so if her cells can do that, why can't she get more use out of her powers than these? So then, what? Oh, she looks different.
That's all she can morph. That's a pretty damn cool power,
Yeah, it's,
in my
Yeah.
opinion.
could be OP if she didn't just flash her eyes every so often.
Yeah,
I know. She keeps, yeah. Especially at the end of the movie, which is just like, oh, flashing
Well-
go nice. It's like, but I know you're weakened, but it's like,
Yeah,
Why?
well, that one
Because
was
it was-
because someone bumped her and she lost concentration for a second. But like at the school when it happens, that was just for the audience to be like, oh, okay.
Iceman is actually Mystique.
yeah.
even though we all saw that coming.
Well, I don't know. I mean, obviously, on second
The very
watch,
first-
yes, but
Yeah, the very first time you kind of just be like, oh, okay, well, he's kind of a dick.
yeah, well,
And then you're like, oh, it's Mystique. I get it now.
yeah,
Yeah.
On first watch, it's like, oh, okay, that's a dick move, but
Yeah.
you obviously know that he's making it up because you see Professor X's reaction,
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
To talking to Logan and yeah.
But it is a good little like, I don't know if it's a twist, but it's a good little like part.
It's like, she's here. And I think, like, from the beginning, it follows that first class kind of. It's like we see the glimpse of the metal gate, and that someone is like, "Where's this bit?" Like, is this like, this where she grew up in the house? Because I know, like, they've hinted that before in Days of Future Past when she grew up with Charles, but it's like, where does this fit in that timeline type thing?
No, I don't think they were thinking of any of that when this movie was made.
Yeah, they were not.
They probably didn't even think that there was going to be a second movie made, honestly.
Oh yeah, I was going to bring that up later, but yeah, like at the end of it, you show Mystique alive, but it's like this doesn't really set up anything for the sequel.
Well, it
So
sets,
it's like-
sets up that the Brotherhood of Mutants are still around.
Yeah, and that Senator Kelly, she was able to stop the vote.
But I'm sure they didn't think this would do as well. That they would get Green or a sequel.
I mean, I imagine they were hoping. Like they probably
I mean,
they
yeah.
wrote it. I mean, there's a lot of bad movies that like and this is not a bad movie. I'm just saying, but like there's a
Yeah.
lot of bad movies you see that you're like, oh, they were hoping for a sequel, and they thought they were going to be good enough to get it, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm not saying this movie is bad, but I'm just saying I don't think they had a sequel planned at the beginning, and then they saw the success, like, oh, we can make another sequel now. Make a sequel.
Yeah, man, I'm trying to think of like where, because I'm pretty sure Spider-Man did that come out before this?
After I think,
The first
Spider-Man, I think it was
Spider-Man?
2002.
yeah.
Okay.
I guess it wasn't that 2001, 3.
Yep, 2002.
Let's just throw every year out there.
Sometime between 2000 and 2010.
I'm trying.
Is-
What was that? What was the first? I guess like Batman from '89 really kind of started the superhero kick,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then Iron Man
Yeah, and
came
this-
out after this, right?
Yeah, it was X-Men, Spider-Man, and Iron Man.
Yeah, Iron Man came out in 2008, I think.
Oh wow.
Oh, no, man. So Spider-Man 2
Yeah,
and Spider-Man
wow.
3 got out before that.
Damn.
And then I think X3 came out before 2008. I
so-
can't remember.
From what I can
Spider-
see, a concrete plan for X-Men 2 wasn't explicitly stated from the very beginning of the first X-Men film. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
So like obviously they threw in a few things where they're like, if it does well, we have something to go off of, but like they weren't necessarily planning it.
Yeah.
And Spider-Man came out in 2002, and Spider-Man 2 came out in 2004. So like nice 2-year gaps in between.
Yeah, a much easier time to pay attention to a cinematic universe before they were planning anything. It's like, all you have to do is watch one movie and you're good.
Yeah.
Now you gotta watch 17 different TV series to watch the next Marvel movie.
You gotta watch 2
You don't need
series. You gotta watch the last movie. You gotta watch every movie leading up to it, and then you have to watch the side series that's on.
People say that, but like, and
a lot of movies explain everything.
Yeah, I was like, well, I think it helps. Like you have to remember that most of the writers, like for these different projects, don't actually get to communicate. So that's why, like in these later ones especially, and that's why they don't fit together well. And you don't need to necessarily watch them because they didn't know what the others were doing. I'm specifically thinking WandaVision and Doctor Strange 2, where just like the writers they didn't get to talk, and that's why it just feels disjointed and like, wait, what?
Well, I mean, the movie that I bring up to counter that is Deadpool and Wolverine. You literally have to watch at least some of Loki to get like half of that movie.
That's fair. I have not seen that one yet.
They take you to the time
TVA.
The TVA.
Yeah, and I knew that from the trailers. You saw some of that, so.
And they explained some of the void. Like they explained some, but Loki, he makes a Loki. Deadpool makes a Loki reference, so it's like. Yeah. It's like, from this specific episode from Loki.
Yeah, I also feel like at least with Deadpool and Wolverine, there's also a lot of like Blade. I mean, you might kind of want to watch Blade before going into it. You might want to watch at least the first X-Men, maybe even X-Men Origins Wolverine, because they bring references from that. And I mean, they're still going hard.
Which is a cameo.
Well, I mean, but there's also the original Fantastic Four, because then you won't really get the joke that Captain America now is or was the Human Torch. So it's they haven't calmed down with that stuff. Although Deadpool has always been more erratic with the references. So
and all that.
Obviously, maybe it's a bit of a bad reference, but still, they're still going pretty hard with the whole. Like, you need to watch at least 2 things or at least 3 things before going into this one. Or maybe you'll be interested in watch stuff afterwards. Be like, I want to know what that reference was. Then you watch and you go, now I know why it's a reference and not a full movie.
Yeah.
I did not get the Human Torch reference when I watched Deadpool versus Wolverine. I had to look it up.
You didn't watch the original Fantastic Four?
I have not seen them, no.
I think Gritty and I played the video game. I saw it when I was a kid. That's why I had the video game. I think we might have played it, but I mean, obviously that wouldn't translate to, how many years now? 15 years later.
I've seen like glimpses of it. Like I understand like all their powers and stuff, but I just never really just wanted to watch it.
Speaking of powers, what would everyone's mutant power be if you could choose?
I would love to shapeshift into animals.
So you want to be Beats Boy, so not green.
Yeah, it's a mystique, but instead of people, I mean, if I could turn to people too, cool. But I want animals specifically, so I could just turn into a bird and fly away.
I'm out.
I gotta give it to Quicksilver. Quicksilver's powers. I mean, freaking super speed would be so useful.
Gotta go fast.
That's true.
I would go with I was thinking about this before we started too, and I never really landed on one. Someone else go.
Does that be from the movie? Does that be from the movie?
What would your mutant power be?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I want to be the tongue guy. Toad?
Toad.
Oh yes.
I don't know.
You know,
Yeah,
I'm just gonna go with Logan's power of being able to
Regeneration?
regenerate. I feel like that'd be
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah, it would be a good one for sure.
Greedy would go.
Oh, I want to be
invisible.
Mystique.
Yeah.
That
Like I
would be a
said-
nice power.
I want to be Mystique, but also be able to turn into animals.
I kind of really like that though. That'd be awesome.
Right?
You don't have to plan your outfit 'cause you just get a whole new outfit for free.
Oh, yeah. Never have to go clothes shopping again. You never have to worry about traffic or anything. It's like, oh, I need to get to work. Let's turn into a bird and fly there. Oh, I need to run fast for this? Cheetah.
Oh,
Yeah, that would not
then
draw
suddenly,
any attention.
cheetah.
It's just a cheetah
Oh.
on the ground.
This, you have to be like use common sense and not use things in like don't turn into a cheetah in the middle of the city. That's how you're gonna get killed.
The other side of it
But-
too, you could have the best naps ever by becoming like a cat or a dog.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking of, the cat thing.
Just turn into a cat and immediately you're out.
They have the uncanny ability of just sleeping and going into a deep sleep very quickly, and then just I'm up, get ready to go.
Yep.
My
Yeah.
cat likes to play with his toy mice at 12:30 in the morning to wake me up and make me think that I have a dead mouse on my bed.
Oh, wonderful.
That definitely happened this morning, and I hated it here for a while. I would love to become a cat just to piss my other cat off, is what I want to do.
Ask them
That's
why.
very fair.
Why are you doing this? Why?
I can see Ray turning into the cat, and you ever see the like meme of the cat like hitting another cat with the paw,
Yep,
rapidly hitting the cat? I just see Ray turning into the cat doing that to her other cat.
absolutely. I will hide behind the couch, or I'll sneak around, do the little butt wiggle, and then pounce on him.
Butt wiggle.
That's what he does.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. See?
You got one, Greedy?
Coolest power.
Greedy's gonna go invisible so he can go into the women's changing room. And
Oh wow! All right, make me out as a creep. Okay, cool.
And then
I
I
was
will
think-
turn into a cheetah.
I was thinking Greedy, he'd want superpower or super strength, maybe.
Yeah, probably super strength, or I'll do read people's minds, or
Yeah.
I think I would get
The
behind
other
Felix
creepy
first.
power.
he
True.
doesn't want to be a creep, but I want to read everyone's mind.
well,
I
how's
would
that
not-
being a creep? I mean, that's
I
just
would
reading
not want
people's
to read
minds.
people's minds.
That's invasive. That's creepy. Professor
Not
X.
saying
gotta ask
creep factors,
consent
because
first
people are
before I
disgusting.
read their mind.
Yeah, excuse me, sir. May I read your mind? I'm doing
What?
it anyway.
I only read the mind when I asked you a question.
Actually, if you could control their mind, then you could just have them say yes.
Yeah. It's even creepier.
Yeah. Speaking of creeps, did Toad die in this movie?
I
I
no,
would
'cause he,
say yes.
he never came back. He was like the only one that didn't come back, right? Because Sabretooth, I think, even came back at some point.
Which is pretty
Yeah.
crazy because, like, I'm pretty sure Toad is pretty big mutant in the
Yeah.
canon. I was like, damn, he just got electric shocked and threw into water, and I was like,
Yeah.
he's dead, right? Like, there's
Yeah,
no
yeah.
coming back
He
from that one.
drowned. He,
And he's not like super strength or anything like that. He's just a dude
Yeah.
with a long tongue.
yeah, and well,
And-
frog
and,
abilities. He can jump high and shoot some sort of goo.
Yeah, that'll save
Yeah.
him from being a lightning rod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's
Yeah.
dead. Sabretooth, I mean, he has very similar abilities to Wolverine.
He just has
Somewhat
the worst
real.
like nail
Yeah.
problem
Yeah.
ever.
Mhm.
And a horrible crawl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that let's talk about. I'll wait. I'll wait. But I hope Toad is not there because I hated him. He was like probably my least favorite out of all of them.
You didn't like Toad?
I did not like
I-
Toad.
I didn't mind Toad for like the character they make. I mean, they got the serious Sabretooth and the smart Aki, Toad, like smart Aki side, like I guess the tech guy. Just,
I don't know if he's
I think it's amazing. I guess Sabretooth doesn't, but both Toad and Mystique have pilot license apparently.
yeah, apparently. The villains, do you think they got licenses?
Well, yeah, but like, even they may not have the licenses, but they both know how to fly helicopters.
they
which
landed that
is-
chopper better than Cyclops landed the jet, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just
He's still
saying.
learning. He's still learning. He's just a baby.
I like Toad. I thought he was a fun
Yeah, I didn't mind Toad.
character.
I liked him better in X-Men Evolutions, but
Well, what you gonna do?
again, which was a cartoon from the 2000s. I think came out in 2003. It was a good show.
Yeah, the
Highly
one,
recommend
the one
if you haven't seen it.
the one
Yeah, sorry,
character
go
I
ahead.
didn't like was Iceman.
Oh,
Yeah.
Just like non-existent character.
Yeah,
Um,
just he's a plot character.
yeah. I also thought the acting was pretty stale. I don't know if he gets
Yes.
better in the
Very still.
future
does.
ones, but
I mean, this I think was his
Future
first
Past
movie.
has him for a bit.
But yeah, he's like I said, this was, I think was his first movie. He's plays a bigger role in the second and third one. And then a bit role in Days of Future Past. I mean that actor did that video game. I don't remember which one, but where it was like all acted.
the Bandersnatch,
No, I don't remember. It came out
the
like,
one where it was
within the
all
last 4
acted.
years.
Damn.
Yeah,
That narrows it down.
yeah. I don't know.
that,
It was Xbox, I think, or PlayStation. You know.
wow, narrowed it down so
was it,
much.
was
man.
it live action or?
Like it was like so they like did live action, but then like converted them all into 3D images. Hold on, I'll look it up. You can continue the conversation while I do this.
Well, now you got me hung up here.
The character I thought they didn't do great in this. Like I know it's an early on type of Rogue, but I really didn't like how they did Rogue in the early game, like in those movies.
I wish,
Like,
like I didn't mind, like what they did with Rogue in this movie. It's what they did with her in the next two. Like they just
Like,
they made
she's
it
a
was
much stronger character in the comics, but
Right?
you have her so afraid to do anything, and she's just on the sidelines all the time. It's like, come on, she's more than just she can touch and copy. So like steal the life force or copy, like borrow mutant powers. Like her in X-Men '97 and X-Men to.
Well, you have to remember in X-Men '97 or just the X-Men cartoon, that's a fully developed Rogue.
I know. I'm just saying that.
This is
Could-
Rogue at the very beginning, and obviously the way they did this, like in the comics and stuff, she was with Mystique and she stole Captain Marvel's powers. Is how she became super strong and could fly and everything.
I just feel like they could have developed her character a bit more and have a bit more useful in the. Like I still have to watch 2 and 3 to really confirm this, but I don't remember her character doing much. in
No,
those
like
movies.
said, I don't mind her in this one just because it was like kind of an origin. But yeah, they totally wasted her potential, and they didn't. She is very similar to this movie in the next two, and it's just like, okay,
It's like, why do we get an origin story of this character
yeah,
when
if
you
you're
guys
not gonna
don't do anything with her in the following movies?
exactly. Oh,
I get that sense. Well, it's Rogue, and she's kind of like in the original cast. It's like, oh yeah, but this is Rogue is very different Rogue than this Rogue.
Which I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, this was one of the very first
Yeah,
Marvel
not saying
comic
she's-
movies that
Yeah.
did good. And they took a lot of liberties, like poke fun at the comics too. Be like, oh, would you rather be in yellow spandex? It's like, Yeah, I would have him being rather
Yeah,
have him be in yellow
those
spandex.
uniforms were awful. Like those some terrible X-Men uniforms.
Yeah. Well, again, that was
I mean, it's the
They're not-
first.
late
Not
90s,
full
2000s.
X-Men, yeah.
Because of the Matrix, everyone's like, oh, everyone's got to be like wearing black leather.
Except for the Matrix, that actually makes fucking sense.
Yeah, the first movie does.
yeah, the first movie, but just it's like this is a terrible. And I like that they poke fun of it in the X-Men '97. It's like, what do you think of black spandex?
So they flipped the joke around.
Yeah, they flipped the joke around in X-Men '97.
Nice. Good.
Yeah,
Well,
the
I'm s-
costumes were definitely not great. I think that like Sabretooth looked good. Toad looked fine. Mystique obviously looked pretty good for the time too. They
It was
nailed.
Quantum Break, by the way.
Oh, okay,
I found it.
Oh, that game.
haven't played
Yeah.
that one.
I haven't either.
I know of it.
But yeah, it was a TV miniseries and also a video game.
But yeah, I mean the costumes
Yeah.
weren't great. Especially, I think they whiffed on Storm's outfit the hardest.
Oh,
in
yeah.
this one.
Magneto's outfit looked like they literally got it from Goodwill or something.
I mean, they got the helmet okay, but like, yeah, he's just kind of wearing like an Imperial officer from Star Wars outfit. The drip is
Yeah.
not immaculate on that.
No.
Costumes are pretty bad.
But I
guess
did think that the special effects were decent, especially for like 2000. I mean, they weren't amazing, but
Yeah.
I think
I
they
mean,
got
they
the
were in
job done.
2000.
Well, I think that like Wolverine's claws coming out was pretty good.
Yeah.
I think they did a great job on that. His healing too, like on his face and stuff in that one scene.
Oh yeah.
was decent. The only time that I thought that the CG really struggled was that scene with the senator becoming a blob, and I kind of
Yeah.
Oh
laughed.
yeah. That
It was supposed to be like a
that scene
serious
was so
movie, but
bad.
I was laughing at that. That's
Yeah, that was
he
bad.
turns just like a goopy thing on the table, and he's just still got his eyeballs. It was fucking hilarious.
See?
Yeah. But when this movie first came out, it was like, whoa, that was so cool. It did not hold up, for
no,
sure.
it did not.
No. That scene definitely did not hold up.
I'm on the opposite end. I did not think they looked too good. Yeah, Wolverine's claws coming out, that's fine. But I think the reason the ending was at night was to literally hide some of the bad CG effects.
Well,
So-
that's
Fair.
just smart, That's what you do. It's
Yeah.
like, hey, if this doesn't look convincing, put it in darkness so you don't see it as
Yeah.
much.
Well, it's even more
Yeah.
because like 2000s, like that's still early CG. I mean,
Oh yeah.
at that time, like we had,
Like
we had
remember, Toy Story came out in '96.
yeah.
That's more
95.
animation in that.
'95, yeah.
It took a while for CG to actually look really good.
That's why-
but
you
like
know.
I said, most of it looks fine here, except for that fucking blob. That fucking
Yeah.
And the scene where like Wolverine does like a 360 on the
Oh, yeah.
Statue of Liberty
Oh, yeah.
horn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
The only
I
other
don't think physics works like that.
and you gotta
Right.
turn off some of that brain when you're in there, because like this is a movie about people tracking claws, shooting beams on the head, controlling the weather.
Yeah.
Some of it's just like just gotta throw it out the window. But
yeah.
the only other
I
thing
know
I'll
it's
say,
not.
sorry, go ahead.
I know it's not CGI, but either when they were jumping or flying, you could tell they were just literally on ropes. I was like, alrighty then.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's 2000, it's kind of hard to do that, but it's like some of those they could have literally just jumped and done some stuff instead of having someone do a backflip on a rope. I was like, whoa, like this is bad.
Mm. Yeah, the scene where like Storm was pushed into the elevator was probably the worst for like I guess rope pooling or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I
Well, you
mean,
know what I mean by that, right? Like just
well, yeah, on wires and stuff. I
on
mean,
a
but
cable wires, yeah.
I do tend to give movies in this era a bit of slack just because I mean, it's like most movies you watch. Like, sure, there's ones that like stand out, like Matrix and stuff like that, that they've really meticulously worked on. But a lot of them are gonna be like this, where it's like, yeah, it's almost there. It's like so close, but it's just not there. And I guess the practical stuff, you would hope that they would be able to knock that out of the park at least. But obviously there were times where it was just way too obvious that they were riding on a wire or something like that. And I mean, obviously that's also come a long way. Like you watch like the original Superman movies or whatever, and it's like, well, you know.
Yeah.
But each era you kind of forgive the movie for each era. This one, it's a little bit harder to forgive like the practical stuff simply because you could do better.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was something in there though that like took me out of it.
Yeah, it wasn't egregious, but there was a few moments where it's like, well, that could have been better.
Well, just like, you know, what Tay said earlier with Mystique, you know, going backwards up the wall, you know, it's like, what? Like, that literally took me out of it. I was like,
that
really?
one did take me out of it.
I was like, really? Come on.
Like, her power is to shapeshift, not have powers like Beast or Spider-Man, who can, like, cling to walls.
Maybe she temporarily morphed into Spider-Man.
She touched the spider. No, wait, no, that'd be that'd be Rogue anyway.
True. The only other scene I would that I say didn't look the best is when like Cyclops has his helmet taken off for the first time and he was shooting the beam into the subway up at the subway
train station.
Train station, yeah.
I actually thought that looked good.
Yeah, I did. I thought it was fine.
The explosion was good. The laser beam coming out of his eyes was decent.
Yeah.
I didn't like his facial apparatus.
Oh yeah,
very strange. Very strange mask thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have just gone with like a very sleek looking design, which I think they do in the later ones. But this
it gets
and also like, how does it get taken off of him so easily? Like, shouldn't you have that thing strapped down like double time? Like, what are we doing here?
Also, for some reason, he's like pressing a button on the sides. Like, why do you need a button to do this?
Well, so he opens and closes the shutter. The glass.
Like they went and when comics doesn't. I mean, he does kind of actually put his hand up to his head in the comics too.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
You got it, because you have to open and close that shutter. Otherwise, it's like, how does he see through it and it block the lasers? And
I mean, it's not like was it First Class? No, it was Apocalypse that when they just give Sky glasses.
Yeah, I never saw Apocalypse.
I didn't either.
Yeah, I think most people capped at Days of Future Past, and then like that was such a good like return to form for the X-Men, and then they just kind of tanked with the next one. Like I saw the reviews for Apocalypse and then Dark Phoenix, and I was like, well, that was short-lived. Like,
wasn't it Dark Phoenix first or then?
No, it was definitely Apocalypse. It was after Days of Future Past, because that was like the big like Thanos level type villain.
Yeah. Like I like Apocalypse. Like if he's done well.
Could have been better.
Well, what they did in the movie for him, he looked awful. He looked like Ivan Ooze. He didn't look threatening or anything.
Yeah.
And then then they leaded it out with Logan, which was excellent. But like, it's not really like an X-Men movie per se. It's more of like a
it's just another Wolverine movie.
Yeah. It's a Wolverine movie. You know, you had Origins, then just Wolverine, and then Wolverine Logan. Or just Logan, I guess is what it's called. But
yeah.
And I didn't even care to see the Wolverine.
There was also, when did the New Mutants come out? Because that was supposed to.
Oh yeah.
That was supposed to be like the next X-Men, right?
No, it was like kind of supposed to be a spin-off stuff, but then it kept getting delayed, and then the pandemic happened, and then they were just like, well, it's not really tied to the X-Men, and
yeah, it was just.
It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great.
Yeah.
That's how
I saw it because it was like something to watch. It was Apocalypse because at the end Apocalypse was first. Apocalypse unlocked the Phoenix power, and that led to Dark Phoenix, which was a lame plot. That's just to make her. It's like, oh, we gotta make her evil now. It's but why?
Well, that's what X-Men 3 or X3 did as well. Or like she's evil now.
True.
Like, but why?
Yeah, it's like just like you don't have to retread this plot point.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
It didn't work last stand. It's not going to work again.
Yeah, so it's unfortunate that they kind of ran the series into the ground pretty quickly after this one. And it didn't really, it kind of recovered with Days of Future Past, but like we said, it just kind of like tanked after that again. Yeah. So it's like,
it should have been more of that style.
Just really wasted potential though, because like I said earlier, like this is a great casting, like all around. I think that like, Hugh Jackman was great for Wolverine, and I thought the casting was awesome with Ian McKellen and all that stuff, and it's just a real wasted. Like, even though they do come back around and give them like great movies with Logan, with and Days of Future Past, it's still like, oh man, we could add so much more if they just did this right.
Yeah.
And
and a lot of people like this one. Besides having a few little things that they were trying to make it for a wider audience and get rid of some of the silliness of comic books, like getting rid of the yellow spandex and poking fun at it kind of thing. I think this one still did a really good job. Like, I think this one, like, it was a good setup, and it had a lot of potential to go better. And I know a lot of people loved the second one more than this one. I didn't. But that's just because they did my one of my favorite characters dirty.
The Blob?
Nightcrawler. Blob was in Origins, I think.
Oh, was he? Damn.
Oh, yeah, Nightcrawler. Yeah. I get that.
Yeah, like, Nightcrawler's supposed to be kind of this little, like, this prankster, and then they're just like, but what if we made him, like, a religious zealot? And it wasn't a zealot, but he was just, like, super religious and like, oh, I'm sorry, everybody. I must be the worst person ever. Like, that's not Nightcrawler. What is this?
He's just so shy and all this. It's like, this isn't a great. I mean, he gets like there's some moments where he's decent, but it's also some moments just like this. Like, he didn't really evolve from this kid. You have him shy basically for the entire time. He's basically.
Like he's in
this movie.
He's in the first scene, like doing some badass stuff, but you find out, it's because he was under control by something, and then after that, he's just shy, timid, and I'm just like, this is not Nightcrawler. What have you done to my boy? So yeah, for me, the second one, like, it was fine, but it wasn't as good as the first one. And then obviously they just kept getting worse, and they kept ruining their potential. And it's just like, what are you doing, people? You set things up. It could have been good.
Yeah. It's like this movie. I felt like it was a little jumpy because.
Because of Toad, he jumps.
Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah. But it's like the start, we get introduced to Rogue, and then go down, and it's like I don't mind Storm and them saving, but this movie felt like a little fast, and a little just like they kept jumping to. It's like, oh, Mystique's here, and she's poisoning Charles, and just like, okay, it's like I didn't mind it, but it's also like, okay, you didn't have to jump that fast.
What I want to know is, how did Magneto find out about Rogue?
Yeah, like they just start off. Oh, it's like after Wolverine. It's like, no, but I'm not sure what you guys were. So it's like, I don't think he's after Wolverine.
Well, and that would have made more sense if they were, because Sabretooth, as we know, knows Wolverine.
Yeah.
Even if Wolverine doesn't remember it. So Sabretooth could have told them about Wolverine. None of that group knew about Rogue. Nobody knew about Rogue.
Yeah.
So it just seemed weird that they were after her. That was my one complaint. Yeah. But
he knew about Rogue, and he knew her powers. It's like, how you unless Mystique looked up what happened to her boyfriend at first, but that's still like a leap. Saying, oh, he almost died in this, so she had this power. It's like, well, that's a big leap from what you.
Exactly.
What you're trying to get this info from.
Yeah, it didn't make sense that they knew about her. Yeah, my other biggest complaint, I think, was, and I think they just did it because of the comics, which is like, okay, fine, but like Wolverine's love for Jean Grey is just so instant. And it's No build up or anything, and like he's just like immediately like Cyclops a dick, which Cyclops is a dick, but like I guess Wolverine can really read people really well right from the get go, and it's just like she's beautiful, wonderful, best person in the world. I want to marry her. That guy's a dick.
I know it's like also Jean Grey's like attraction to Wolverine is also a bit forced because like one, she was dating Cyclops for like probably for a while. And it's like suddenly Wolverine comes and it's like, oh no, it's like I have him too now. It's like you just got here. You don't even know anything about this guy.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is like in the comics, there's a bit of a love triangle there, and they tried to force that way too soon. And obviously they didn't know there was going to be a second one, so they were just trying to be like, hey, comic book fans, we got you.
But they could just been at the end like some sort of. It's like talking or something. You don't need to have him immediately hit on her.
Yeah. Agreed. I don't know. What do you guys, the rest of you, think?
Yeah, we haven't heard from Larry in a while.
I thought that Hugh Jackman was hot,
Yeah. So hot.
and if I was the Phoenix, whatever her name is,
Jean Grey.
I would immediately just fall into his lap.
That's fair. Like said, I mean, Cyclops is a dick.
Yeah.
That's a known fact. Everybody knows that. Like even Wolverine, who just met the guy, I was just like, yep, dick.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
Like
know
they
what
do
else
him a
to
bit
say.
better and
What was that, Ray?
I said, I don't really know what else there is to say about him. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Well, I
his
think
glasses are stupid.
His glasses are stupid, and he's a
got
dick.
him. Damn, you'll never recover.
I had those glasses when McDonald's, toy box.
Ooh.
Actually, that would be actually kind of a fire item in a toy box, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would
true.
I'm sure it was at one point.
It probably was with that cheap plastic.
Or his glasses were,
I think we know who the two big X-Men fans are here, though, because I'm like surface level at best in terms of X-Men
I
stuff.
just know everything.
Like I
Yeah.
know most of the characters, but I'm not like huge into it because this movie came out before that was like 2000, so this is like before I was really into movies. Like I think watching. It was probably like Batman Forever or something, something stupid.
Yeah.
Really kickstarted my interest in superhero stuff. But
Well, for me, X-Men 90s, the X-Men 90s cartoon, that was a big, like, I loved that cartoon
That was
so
peak.
much. And
show.
so when this came out, I was super excited. And like I said, I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the next one, not as much, but just because they did my boy dirty. And then the third one came out, and I stopped caring. I have a friend who's really, really big into X-Men. Like, has all the well, not all the comics, a bunch of the comics. Still reads them. Like, so like a lot of my knowledge of the newer stuff is like secondhand through that friend. But
I know a
this
good bit
one
from
here,
X-Men 97. That's all.
yeah, it's this one here. This is my X-Men right here. So.
Oh, speech question. Which Mystique do you prefer? Do you prefer this Mystique, or do you prefer was like Angelina? What's
Jennifer Lawrence?
No.
Jennifer Lawrence?
Jennifer
Thank
Lawrence.
you.
I
Mystique.
prefer the Mystique from the 70s cartoon who, was like a badass and cool and like her own character and not just a lapdog to Magneto.
and she wore shoes.
And she wore shoes. And a belt of skulls.
Just like in this movie, she's kind of like a real like actual villain. Unlike the newer movies, which made her kind of like anti-hero, but she was like the mid-level of the world.
And one of them wasn't she just became like the leader of the X-Men by the end?
Yeah.
So, yeah, which is fine. I mean, comic books have a bunch of different iterations of different characters. I mean, Emma Frost at one point has led the X-Men, and in the movies and in most of the comics, she's a bad guy. So it's not unheard of for bad guys to suddenly run the good guys groups. That doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
No,
So I'm not sure how what she's like in X2 X3 because it's been a long time since I watched the movies.
Yeah.
But I just remember seeing this one. It's just a big different in the character, especially. It's like because at the end of like I think the first time it's like a first class where we see her. It's like she's a completely different character. I see, and it's just like it's like this is not really. It's like it doesn't really make much sense when you had her like willing to kill all the like Storm, Charles, all in the original X-Men.
Well, you have to remember they're all diverging different timelines and stuff. So, in this timeline, she knows of them and knows that they're against Magneto, who she may love.
Yeah, it's like
I think in the second one,
some tension.
In the second one, there's I think definitely sexual tension. I think between them, which is weird, but
yeah.
So, yeah, it's whatever. Like I said, I don't care about little changes like that too much, but I don't know. But when you murder my boy character, my Nightcrawler, that's where I draw the line.
So tell us how you really feel about that day.
They murdered my boy.
Sorry.
If you like a Nightcrawler so much, what did you think of the movie?
Which movie?
Nightcrawler.
Oh, I didn't know there was a movie called Nightcrawler. I assume it has nothing to do with X-Men.
No, it has nothing to do with X-Men. It was just a
it.
cheeky joke.
Nightcrawler.
It's like a guy who's like photographer or something like that. He tries to get like blackmail on dirt on people.
Yeah.
So they just randomly picked Nightcrawler and just.
It was a cheeky joke.
He crawled around at night to get illicit photos of people that he could blackmail with him. It made sense to call him Nightcrawler.
Jessica
Not
Rabbit
to be confused.
Patty Cake.
Not to be confused with the amazing X-Men character Nightcrawler.
Well, anything else anyone wants to add about the movie?
What you guys think about like some of the audio sounds? Because I could not absolutely stand Sabretooth's fucking roar. I could not stand it. It was literally sounded like it was taken off of a YouTube clip, and anytime he does it, he doesn't even try to replicate the sound. He just like opens his mouth. And literally, it's like the same pitch.
For sure that.
It's same pitch.
They got it from
annoyed me so much.
Yeah, and that was a little annoying. They got it from a special or sound effect clip, library clip, and went, oh yeah, that's a good cheetah roar or whatever, and
they used the same
like,
pitch, the same file
open
every
your
time.
mouth, close your mouth, and we'll just add the sound effect in post.
It's clip art for audio.
It annoyed me so much.
Yeah.
I think they reused a couple of MP3s throughout this too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said audio sounds. Like I was like, damn, like what the hell.
I will say for the year 2000, I thought that the CGI wasn't terrible.
Yeah,
they did a pretty good job.
Yeah, the most part of the movies, it was pretty good. Pretty good.
We haven't talked about like just the overall plot of the movie. Like I actually really like just the plot, the whole like I thought they really encompassed the whole like humans hate mutants better than in a lot of other movies, X-Men movies later on. And the plan, besides again, doesn't make sense that he knows about Rogue, but just Magneto's plan to just turn all the world leaders into mutants. I like that's a good plan. I agree with Magneto.
Even though, he doesn't know that he's killing basically all the world leaders.
Also, you know what? That's still a great plan.
It's probably still works no matter what.
Still a great plan. Go with it, Magneto.
Yeah.
Although Logan was right, where it's like, if you were really wanted justice, you would do it yourself or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like I agree.
Subtract immunity to.
Yeah, you wouldn't sacrifice someone else so you could do this. You'd be like, no, this is a good cause. I'm doing it myself. I mean, It sounds a lot like most terrorist organizations, really, where they're like,
Mhm.
"Yeah, I will sacrifice wave after wave of somebody else."
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, X-Men, like in the comics, they're really good at showing that anytime a new race, like anything new comes into the world, the government is against it and tries to like say, "Oh, they're all a threat because we don't know anything about them."
Well, and X-Men, is an analogy from the
Mhm.
60s or 70s, whenever it came out. For the LGBTQ community.
Mhm.
So, and it's still work, and you have people like who are saying X-Men's become woke. It's like, no, it started.
No, it's always been political. It's always all
Yeah.
that.
It's always been woke.
It's always been woke,
Yeah.
as most things you loved as kids were and have been.
Yeah,
Y'all
man,
are just sleepyheads.
it's just a
I
buzzword
know.
now. It's
Oh, it is. a
Yeah,
buzzword.
they just
most
say
things-
for and everything.
people are just looking for reasons to complain. So or hate, I should say, hate.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, X-Men does a pretty decent job at representing or like getting its point out there, especially early on, with like the legislation being
Yeah.
levied against them, and like the point that the senator's trying to make in like the helicopter, I think it is, where he's like, well, you wouldn't give a kid a gun or whatever, and allow him into school, and they, some of these kids have the abilities that are 10 times the power of guns or whatever. It's like, I mean, he's making like the fear mongering point there.
Mhm.
What's funny is Senator Kelly probably is like, wouldn't want a kid with a gun in school. I mean, I don't care if they do, but I don't want a mutant
Yeah.
in there.
Mhm.
He seemed like the kind of guy who was like only siding with that side so they could get reelected or whatever.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, probably. For
Like,
sure.
I don't really
Yeah.
hate mutants, but fuck, I want that paycheck, buddy.
Yeah, like his little redemption type thing at the end. It's like, this is
Unearned
not like you're
redemption?
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely unearned redemption. It's like, dude, you're too far gone. You've done too much damage for us to think you're a decent person.
I mean, it worked. Magneto's plan. It shows that Magneto's plan worked. He's saying like, "Oh no, I'm a mutant. Oh no,
Yeah.
oh no, I've been hating on my own kind now. I guess."
it was like
I guess.
he basically realized that it's like because of what he did, because he turned into now he can now no longer go to hospitals. He can no longer go anywhere
Yeah.
because no one's gonna treat him. But like I said, it's
And it's still
It's
Phil
very-
London, yes.
it's very symbolic to what's happening in real life, but we don't need to go into that dark rabbit hole.
Yeah, we don't.
But let me ask you guys something: are you Team Magneto or are you Team Charles in terms of their argument?
As a kid, I definitely would be like, "Oh, I'm Team Charles all the way." I didn't know better. Now it's like, I'm mostly Team Magneto. I think he takes it a little to the extreme.
Too far,
sometimes,
but
he makes a lot of good points, and I know X-Men '97 goes into that, which is great. But
I
Which, like I said-
abstain from this question.
but we already decided all our mutant powers. We are mutants now, guys.
yeah, you gotta answer
We
the
and Ray
question.
have the same ability.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, the best ability, some would
I
say.
agree.
Two's better than one, right? Right?
Absolutely.
What?
Yep. Two is better than one.
Yeah, for sure.
We can fight crime as cats. I want to
We
do that.
could. We could fight as big cats.
Catwoman.
No, no.
Just-
Nah.
Tigers. Actual tigers.
Are we talking about the
Side.
Halle Berry version of Catwoman, or
No.
yes,
Nope.
obviously.
No version of Catwoman.
No thanks. I want to be an actual cat.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a cat burglar. We're actual cats.
well, I mean, Catwoman from the Halle Berry version was pretty much like Catwoman. So,
But she was a woman. We are cats.
but she was Catwoman.
She was cat
Yeah.
resurrected, so
The cat barfed in her mouth, and she was resurrected as a cat. woman.
Ew.
I mean, it's true. I mean, it's in the
It is
movie.
true. The movie when we did it, it's true.
I know.
About not the barf part, but she would have been to rest of it.
No, she was. The
It was
cat
a weird
literally
movie.
barfed into her face.
Yeah, because then it was the Batman Returns where she was thrown in a building and like was dead, and a bunch of cats started licking her, and somehow
Oh,
That's
that
more.
was like-
That's
that
more
was-
plausible
that-
than
yeah.
the.
Sorry, I got my movies mixed
More
up. I haven't
plausible.
watched that movie.
No. Batman Returns
Returns.
is more plausible
Wow,
than
but-
Catwoman with Halle Berry. I will say that. At
Sure.
least, her from Catwoman from Batman Returns, like, is still a person.
Yeah.
Like, she has brain damage, sure, but she's still a person. Halle Berry is just a CGI monster who acts like a cat.
Yeah.
Who, I mean, it all comes back around. Halle Berry in this movie, not a great Storm, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The storm.
She was put on like some weird
Oh.
accent. I didn't quite get it.
Oh yeah. It was gone half the time too.
she was trying
no,
to do because I mean Storm is from Africa, so it's like she was trying to do I guess like an African accent. It definitely didn't sound like one, but
Yeah.
I had no clue what she was trying to do, and obviously surface level X-Men person here didn't even know it. You don't know the backstory.
Yeah.
Just know that she was doing a weird accent, and it didn't really sound right.
yeah. She was actually married in the comics. Storm was married to Black Panther for a little bit.
Hot.
That makes sense.
She's not from
Um,
Wakanda though, but
Yeah. I mean, also
What's
it's like
with her?
sorry, real quick point. The line was like, you know what happens when a toe gets struck
Oh,
by lightning?
everyone-
The
that's-
same
Yes,
with
I was
everything
about
else.
to bring that up.
The-
Thank you.
It's like,
I was
where
ready to
is that
turn this movie off
line?
after she said that. That was so dumb.
everyone knows
It's
it's
like-
dumb and agrees it's dumb.
I was
That's-
so ready to get up and turn off the movie after that. Oh my god.
It's like you had such a good line through that first half. How did you ruin it in the second? It's like did they fight that down? It's like, yep, that's good enough, and just
That was
even
so
proofing
bad.
it.
That was.
There's an interview. I think I don't remember exactly, but I remember there's an interview somewhere where someone asked her about it, and like she, I think, was like, "Yeah, I don't know why they had me say it. It's so dumb."
You know what happens?
Yeah, it
The
should've
same thing
been
that
a-
happens to everyone else who gets struck by lightning.
Yeah, it's like, why didn't you have that quip for Sabretooth when you struck him with lightning?
You know what happens to a wolf when they get struck by lightning?
Everything.
It's
So dumb.
yeah, they should just taken out that line. Have her just don't say anything, or just have a quip like a comic quip. Not that's just I don't know, like a shocking toad or what. I don't know. I don't have a quip in my head, but
Which is
Something
the problem
better
they
than
ran.
that.
That's the problem they ran into. They're like, "Crap, I can't think of anything better." It's
wouldn't-
fine. We'll fix it later, and then they didn't.
She should have sent down the lightning and went, that just happened.
Skivity toilet.
God.
Gen Alpha would be rolling in the seats.
I would walk out of the theater.
That was shocking.
Oh, so shocking. Yeah.
And I just don't get like how any of them didn't know how to fight. It seemed like, besides like out of Wolverine, just like none of them seemed how to fight.
Yeah, the X-Men
Like, it
kind of
just-
sucked.
It just seemed like
They still
Toad
beat.
was kicking everyone's ass. Sabretooth was beating everyone's ass. It's just all of a sudden then they're like, oh, I'm dead.
Yeah, so it's like
They don't
the-
have the
the-
danger room yet to train for fighting. This is where they go, "Oh, we should probably make a danger room where we can learn how to fight."
Yeah, we can't just rely
They
on
fought-
our powers because,
Yeah. Sometimes those get taken away from us.
they
didn't-
fought
most
better
of them
when
didn't
they
even
faced
try to use their
Sabretooth.
powers when they were in the Statue of Liberty area. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think Cyclops even tried to open his visor the entire
Yeah.
time.
Which no, his
Or-
visor got taken by Magneto.
Oh yeah.
No,
It's like, so you made that out of metal? Magneto's in the world, and you make your visor out of metal.
No, I don't think it was Magneto who took it. I thought it was
Toad like licked it off his face or whatever.
Yeah, well, that was in the train station.
Well, he did it again.
No, I'm pretty
though,
sure
right?
Magneto.
Oh yeah, no,
took it
you're
off
right.
him.
You're right. Magneto, once he pinned him to the wall, just took it off him.
Oh, he just grabbed it with his. Yeah, he didn't use his.
Oh,
powers.
that's right. Wow, they usually use powers like it.
Yeah, I was saying
So
it looks
the-
like it's
right.
made of plastic. So
Or rubber.
yeah, some sort of rubber would make sense. Yeah.
The thing, Storm's like, oh, it conjure bolt lightning. So it's like, oh, well, that's when copper prays. That's not gonna do anything. You have other weather.
Yeah.
Why are you limiting yourself to lightning?
Right? Yeah, I did think about that too. I'm like, why don't you just like freeze them to death? I guess I would also freeze her companions to death.
Also, in the other scenes, like,
Make it start
it's like, oh,
pouring
can you
down
get me
rain.
up?
yeah.
It's like, can you get me up there? It's oh, you'll fly out. Why didn't you know? If you know they were gonna fly out, why didn't you do it before? When Magneto and Sabretooth were in the freaking room, the dome, they weren't flying out shot. Like remember she used the winds to kept Logan up there, but she said, "Oh, he'll fly out." It's like,
Yeah.
so you.
Oh yeah, she could have used the wind powers to, knock the. I mean, it wouldn't have worked on Magneto. Wait, no, because
I mean, he could still went flying, destroying them a bit, and then
yeah.
Jean
He
could have
has
done
his own
something.
magnetic field.
Yeah, I mean, Sabretooth would have been screwed, and that was the
Oh, yeah.
important one.
She could have brought like gold, football-sized hails onto the. Into
Yeah.
the area.
Yeah.
Struck
There's
him
a
in the
lot of
head.
things. I mean, Storm is like a Omega threat, mutant. So
Mhm.
like,
Use that gust
there's
of
not a
wind to
lot
knock
of those.
Magneto off the top of the Eiffel Tower, Statue of Liberty.
yeah. Well, there's metal in there, so he would just magnetize
Yeah.
himself to.
I
I'm
just love how
fine.
the Statue of Liberty was just metal.
It's like, also, they had to get one national mark into this movie. It's like, oh, we gotta have him in the Statue of Liberty because
Well, at least the Golden Gate Bridge didn't get destroyed. They showed it. It didn't get destroyed.
Yeah.
they showed it already and destroy it.
I was waiting for it. I was like, oh, here we go. It's just gonna blow up randomly.
Yeah,
I think
they
just it's like,
saved
oh,
that-
no, but
I think they saved that for the third one, or was that the
They
Washington
were
Bridge? I don't
scraping the
remember.
barrel for the third one. I was
they
waiting
just
for
showed it's
Magneto
like,
to
haha.
start making the Statue of Liberty walk like in Lego Marvel superheroes. That didn't happen.
oh yeah.
I was disappointed. I
Or
was-
in Ghostbusters 2.
oh, that happens in Ghostbusters 2 as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also
Well,
love
alright
how Sabretooth was just able to get stabbed at the end. I mean, it's just like, really?
Mystique,
You
you
didn't see? No, Sabretooth.
Sabretooth can't get stabbed
What?
Yeah,
what?
he just-
by Magneto. I'm not Magneto, Wolverine, because he
Oh,
after
Wolverine.
that turn.
Yeah, after he does that
jumped
Oh,
stupid-
yeah. It was.
He
I was
was
just like,
He was
I was
so,
just like, really? I was like, really? Come on.
That's
he
like the
was so,
third time
like,
he does
sh-
like a stealth kill too. Like he can't
Yeah, he
fight
was
anyone
so-
man to man, but he can get the.
But it wasn't stealth. Sabretooth was literally looking right at him.
Well, yeah, but he
Yeah.
he turns around and just stabs him, right?
Yeah. Well,
He did that,
Sabretooth
like,
was
3
stunned.
times.
He just was like, "Holy shit! Did that guy just do a 360 and just like break physics?" And oh, he stabbed me.
It was just
Yeah, just it's
not good.
the villains could like I get they're trying to get these big villains, but they really could have portrayed them better. 'Cause, I mean, Sabretooth at the beginning was pretty neat, pretty good. Like basically throwing Logan around like a I'm blanking on the word.
Ragdoll.
Ragdoll. Thank you.
Yeah.
But then it's like I figured like one of them would come to the save, but it's like I kind of wish we had a bit more Sabretooth in that scene.
I think it's
Right. You
even
get
more
so
evil
much
mutants in general.
saber. You get so much Sabretooth in X-Men Origins. Wolverine.
Yeah.
Maybe too much Sabretooth.
Yeah, it's been too
Wasn't Sabretooth played by a different actor in?
He
Yeah.
sure was.
It's Tom
Yeah.
Hardy, right?
Nah,
No, it's not Tom Hardy.
I can't remember his name either.
I don't
I
remember
think-
his name, but
It's-
he's been
I
in
like
stuff.
I like that Sabretooth a bit better because they kind of fledged out his character.
Yeah, at least he's
Well-
like, yeah. I mean,
And
Origins
he
had,
actually talks in the movie.
Origins
Does he
had
have
a
the
lot of
stupid roar?
problems, but
No,
no,
he doesn't
talks.
roar.
He just talks.
Huh. Okay, good.
He's more like Logan,
Yeah,
where it's just like he has a brain.
yeah, like in the comics.
Yeah.
Like the comic, like Sabretooth in this movie looked more like Sabretooth from the comics, but the Sabretooth in the other X-Men Origins was more
He looked like-
Sabertoothy.
He looked like
than-
Tom Hardy.
Yeah,
He really does look like Tom Hardy.
a little bit. I can see it.
But
Yeah, I just think, obviously a lot of movies nowadays is like when you have too many villains, it becomes crowded. I feel like they just needed a couple more like villainous ones, just kind of be in the background.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, that's kind of what they went for. Like Magneto's our main villain, and then those three, like that's why they each only had like 2 lines between them. It's like they're just kind of supposed to be like background. But I agree, they should have. If you're going to just have them be more like background, then have more.
Yeah, just you don't even have to have them at like the final fight. They could just be
Yeah.
at the lair, like they're scheming. I don't know. Maybe have the back of Juggernaut's head or something in there. Like I don't care.
Well, Juggernaut wasn't a Brotherhood, but the Quicksilver was. Let's see, the Blob was.
Yeah, put the Blob in there. Fuck yeah, dude.
yeah, he was such a good actor for Blob. I feel like he was a fun, like he was a nice, real funny character. Because the way he looks is so ridiculous.
For
In
some
that
reason,
movie.
like all I can picture for the Blob, it's just from Austin Powers. Mike Myers is the big
Fat bastard.
fat bastard. Yeah, that's like all I'm picturing in my head right now. I'm just like, I know that's
He
not
basically
right.
is.
I know. I was like, I know that's not right, but
Well,
Yeah.
I think I've spoken. I mean, I could probably go on, but we can call it there. I've spoken my piece.
well, yeah.
In
does
a
any-
2-hour episode.
Anyone else have anything they want to say about X-Men?
The dash is silent.
X minus men?
Nope.
Yes, X minus me.
All right, let's get into our final thoughts and ratings, starting with the guest, Lucy.
So coming back to this movie after 6 years of not watching it, it left me a bit like it's like all right, it's like I've seen the movie, I know what happens, but I don't remember it being this kind of way. My young mind didn't really speculate the movie like I do now. And it's like I still enjoy this movie. But is it one of my favorite X-Men movies? No. Like it's only like 1 or 2 I would go back and watch. Religiously. But overall, this movie isn't bad. It's not a bad X-Men movie at the started. But it could definitely have been maybe a bit more time in the oven for some areas. But I'll give it like a 3 out of 5.
Damn. Okay. Well, I enjoyed this one. I found it pretty fun. Even though it's not like an amazing, showcase of beautiful CG and amazing acting. I thought that it was a pretty fun little campy time. Had some fun characters in there. I thought the casting was really well done. I thought there was a couple of things from the special effects that we already mentioned that were pretty bad, but I thought it was mostly fine for what it was, and it was a pretty quick watch too for me. Yeah, I mean, I just was kind of having fun with it while watching it. Obviously, it's not going to be on like a top 50 list of like, well, okay, maybe it wouldn't be on like. Maybe it would be on like a top 25 superhero movies for me. Not like nowhere near the top 10, but it's kind of towards the bottom of that 25, So yeah, in the end, I'm going to give it a 3.5 out of 5. I thought it was pretty fun.
All right. I'm the opposite.
Here comes the hater.
I
Live it up
really
to the name.
disliked this movie. I was bored with it. I did not find the costumes at all pleasantly at all. The movie just wasn't fun to me. I just didn't vibe with it. I never watched the X-Men before, and I'm glad I never did, and I still don't want to watch it again. I did not like this movie. I thought, you guys think I was joking when I wanted to turn it off after that Storms thing quote? I seriously
believe you.
wanted to turn it. I seriously wanted to turn it off right after that. I thought just the movie was just not good. I will give it a 2 out of 5, though.
Damn.
Dang. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. You're entitled to your opinion. I feel like it's a fun movie, though. I have a lot of fun. And like I said, this is my childhood right here. Is it perfect? No. And just like story-wise and stuff, the story for this movie in particular, though, I thought was fine. I liked I felt the motivation was there and stuff. CGI, for the most part, holds up, besides those few scenes we talked about. Overall, yeah, I still think it's a fun movie. It's been 15 years probably since I've watched it, and it might be another 15 years before I watch it again. But I still enjoy it. And I'd give it, I'll go 3.5 at 5.
Okay, I'm with Greedy, which is why I haven't really been talking a lot.
Yeah.
Ray of negativity.
Yeah, but no positivity. All right, let it talk.
I have never liked the X-Men movies. I don't know what it is. I have tried, but every single one, I'm so sorry, I've fallen asleep through. Every single one. And it's like guaranteed almost halfway through I'm out. And I don't know why, because I think the overall concept is really dope. But yeah, it just does not hold my attention whatsoever. But I will say, to add some positivity, that I think the movie was well done for its time. With the whole CGI, and I thought the acting was pretty good, from what I remember. But
When did you fall asleep this time?
an hour 30, so I almost made it all the way through.
Did you end to go back and just watch the ending?
I did. I ended up doing that, but yeah, that was a rough one. So yeah, I'll give it. I'm also gonna give it a 2.5 out of 5.
Okay, that's fair. Just all over my child. No, shut up.
I know when you said that, I was like, oh,
and to be fair, most of the X-Men movies are garbage. So,
okay, well that makes me feel a little
like I said,
better.
this one, it was the first. I think they did a decent job for the time,
Yeah.
and then just kind of went downhill from there. Days of Future Past and the one that came out after that, X-Men 70 or whatever, those two were okay. Again, okay. They weren't great X-Men movies, but they were fun. But yeah, so don't feel too bad that you don't like the X-Men movies. Most of them are garbage.
I feel like X-Men in the series as a whole is literally a cult, because I feel like those who swear by it will literally swear by it. I don't know. I'm not one of them, and I just don't understand.
Well,
I don't see the hype for it.
Well, think about it. How Transformers for you when you were a kid was your favorite thing, right? Well, to someone else Tay, X-Men was their thing back then, or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not shitting on the.
Well, I get the hype, right? And even I get why people love this series. There's a lot to love about it. I also have never been super into it. That's why I'm more surface level. There's a couple things I like about it. I like when they appear in various things, but and of course I love Logan. I think that's a great movie just on its own. But
Yeah.
X-Men.
I don't even count that as an X-Men movie.
I mean, it has several X-Men in it though. So.
I know it does. I know, but I'm that's just its own thing. Yes, it's an X-Men movie in spirit. Has X-Men in it, but it's not part of the X-Men universe movies, which are bad.
Well, technically, Logan is canon still in Marvel, though, because
It is canon.
digs up his body in the first scene of the movie. So,
Yeah.
Let's go. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I mean, like I said, if they were going to pick one to make canon, they would pick the
There's
best one.
Mhm.
They go, yeah, that one's canon. It doesn't fit in with any of the other stuff, so it makes sense that it's good and canon.
Mhm.
Well, hey, let's move on to our small recommendations here. If anyone has any small recommendations for this episode, speak now. Forever hold your peace.
Dress warm. It's getting cold.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Unless
cool.
you're on my side of the country, dress for really, really fired hot weather.
Yeah, Taya, I'm glad you're
Yikes.
doing okay with that. I'm glad you're
Yeah.
safe.
Luckily, it's it's on the west. It's in California, and it's all blowing into the ocean, so we're not even getting like smoke from it.
That's
That's
cool.
good.
Yeah, I mean, it's good that I'm not getting smoke from it. It's still
Yeah.
a terrible situation.
Yeah, if you are in LA in that area
Yeah.
where smoke and fire, please stay safe. Please evacuate if you can.
Yeah, we already have because we have some friends who live there. They've evacuated, and they're like their parents live here. They're from here. Obviously, that's how we know them. But so they're just staying with their parents for a little bit. Their house has not been hit, luckily, yet.
That's good.
But with the winds about to pick up again, that could easily change.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's a psychic situation for sure.
Scary.
And my recommendation is Squid Games 2.
Oh Lord. Nope. Mm-mm.
I haven't seen
No?
Squid Games
Why not?
1.
I saw the first one, and I will not subject myself to that ever
Did
again.
you watch
Good.
it? Did you watch it dubbed? As in like English voice acting?
No, I know what that means. No, I didn't.
No, I thought that Squid Games 1 was excellent. If you haven't seen that, it's
Yeah,
it's
it
a
was
very fun
My biggest problem with Squid Games and why I've
watch.
chose
It's
not to
too
watch
big.
it is it's like it's that darker like visceral to quote Yemmy kind of feel to it, and like there's a lot of TV shows especially nowadays that are still that way, and I'm just like, you know what, I don't need those in my life. My life is already
Yeah.
dark enough as it is. I just want to watch happy stuff.
Yep.
That's fair.
There's plenty of happy
Oh.
moments in Squid Game.
There's also a lot of people being murdered to death because they're
That's
poor.
like episode 3, okay?
That just happened so early on.
It happens early
I-
on and then repeatedly for the whole series.
I went into Squid Games 2 going like, what are they gonna do with this? And I'm
That's
pleasantly surprised that they actually are in like building off of the original story. Like the end of Squid Games 1, spoiler alert, I guess. He like the main character like dyes his hair a different color and he like is like all superhero-esque. And then they start off Squid Game 2 and it's like, well, he's in like a very different place now. It's like 5 years later or whatever. And I'm like, oh, this actually works really well. Because I don't think anyone really liked the ending of Squid Game. But it's one of those things where it's like you've actually like built off of what you started and you're building off of that first story. Because having him go back to the games is like, well, what are we going to do with this? Like, he's just going to know everything. Well, they put a lot of twists in there, which have been very fun. So maybe try Squid Games when the sun's a bit brighter, because I think that the first season is obviously it blew up a lot,
Yeah.
and it's like been
I've heard great things about it.
oversold. But it's still a very good series, even to this day. And the second one is going pretty good. So I've been pleasantly happy with it.
Oh, good. My recommendation is
Don't watch
Just-
Squid Game.
don't
Yeah,
watch
don't.
Squid. No, you can watch Squid Games if you want, people. Find something that brings you joy, and then make sure you just keep doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
even if it's drugs.
What?
No.
Whoa,
Probably not.
whoa. We did not condone drugs.
I
Okay,
mean,
maybe-
Probably not that far.
Maybe get some help if it's like meth or something.
yeah, I would say like okay, maybe we got marijuana. That's fine, like as a base, but like. What we telling people to do like meth here? Like what,
Yeah,
if you love meth, just keep going. Parody.
Well, this
in a
is
video
gonna
game.
get flagged.
Now,
But yeah,
part.
satire.
We won't,
We're
but
we're not serious.
Like
Yeah.
if you enjoy reading, dive into that.
Yeah.
If you enjoy writing, dive into that. If you enjoy video games, dive into
Exactly.
If you enjoy a podcast, dive into it.
that. Right. Yeah.
Hey.
A great podcast to dive into is The Adventure Zone. So if you like just good stories.
Nice.
Well, all right.
My recommendation, which is a movie, yeah, is reviewed. I recently just rewatched it. 2 days ago. Is Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's especially for people who watch or like maybe a bit tired of the multiverse, like all the multiverse stuff that's happening. Is Everything Everywhere at Once is a very nice twist on that. It was just not like the satire. Oh, we're going to so that now that. It's just like
It's like the opposite
it's a nice
of
twist.
Deadpool.
Yeah, it's very it's very. It's just a very good movie.
It is a very good movie. I enjoyed Everywhere, Everything, All at Once.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think we all gave it 5 out of 5
Yeah,
at that time.
I think
Yeah,
so.
we all did.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but that is my recommendation.
Nice. I recommend, even though it's cold outside, getting outside, taking some deep breaths. Don't be cooped up so much. Do something nice for your neighbor. Salt their sidewalk.
We give our neighbors eggs.
Give your neighbors some eggs.
Yeah, give your neighbor eggs, man.
And
Well,
Mr.
we have
Conway,
At your house.
we have so many eggs, guys. You don't
Mr.
understand.
Economy,
We have like between 5 and 8 eggs a day.
You're the egg baron.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're gonna be living rich when the eggs start to run out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our countertop
True.
is there's just one section just full of eggs. Our neighbors don't take them fast enough. We don't eat them fast enough. If you need eggs, come visit me.
Yeah, or just start egging houses. That's your
No, I'm not
alternative
going to
way.
egg houses.
But what if that brings someone joy, Tay? Didn't you say to dive into the things that bring you joy?
Yeah, if it brings them joy, fine. It doesn't bring me joy. I'm not going to do it.
Well, you know what brings me joy?
What?
What's that?
Recommending a
Oh.
movie on the podcast.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
And as Greedy announced last episode, he's leaving after the next fan vote.
Boo.
So we're going
Boo
to
indeed.
recommend movies that we think he's going to, we're just going to give him a nice ride out into the sunset with some movies that
Well,
we all think.
hopefully.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully he'll like. And my recommendation for the next episode is one that I've had in my back pocket for quite some time. I almost recommended it a while ago, but I think it's finally time because I think this is a movie that we'll all enjoy. Greedy, I was thinking about like what does he like? He likes action, adventure. He likes something that's fast, maybe a bit of comedy mixed in there, good CGI, stuff like that. So I'm recommending The Mummy from 1999.
Ooh.
Directed by Steven Sommers, starring the one, the only Brendan Fraser, handsome, beautiful man.
I'm about to say, just end it there. That's all you need to say.
Also starring Rachel Weisz, John Hannah, Arnold, all these different people.
Yeah.
Little synopsis: dashing legionnaire Rick O'Connell stumbles upon the hidden ruins of Hama Patra while in the midst of a battle to claim the area in 1920s Egypt. It has been over 3,000 years since the former high priest Imhotep suffered a fate worse than death as a punishment for forbidden love, and now his curse guarantees eternal doom upon the world if he is awoken. So this is not the one with Tom Cruise. Okay, this is 1999 Brendan Fraser. Make sure you all watch the right movie because no one wants to watch the new Mummy that sucked ass. Okay.
I would have laughed if you recommended The Mummy of Tom Cruise. It's like,
I would have quit right there.
But this is one that I loved when I was younger. I loved when I was older, and I am excited to watch it again because it is a classic.
I haven't seen it for years.
I do remember enjoying that one too.
Yeah,
So.
I did too.
Too scary.
Now that we'll get into it. There are some scary things in it.
Yeah.
Well, and then of course, once we watch the movie and we all do our reviews, Greedy will tell us if it was a good recommendation or not. So stay tuned for that as well.
Hooray!
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
It'll be fun and exciting.
And if you want to watch The Mummy from 1999 and join the conversation and or listen in, make sure you do that before the next episode airs. It's available on Amazon, Apple TV, Hulu, YouTube, etc. The normal places there.
Boop boop.
Whoop.
All right, y'all. Thank you to Lucy for joining the podcast once
Thanks,
again.
Lucy.
Always enjoy.
I'm
having
glad there
you
was
on.
somebody else here who, I guess
Enjoys the
enjoyed
X-Men.
movie. Yeah, enjoys X-Men as much as I do.
Yes.
Yeah, it's always a treat coming back to you guys and doing this and watching Greedy hang out in every movie I recommend.
Yeah, he has the hater.
I'm sure you'll be back. Your movies seem pretty popular, so we wait with bated breath to hear what your next recommendation will be. But until then, I am Yemmy the Ferret, and I've been here with...
Greedy waffles.
Aymation.
Ray positivity.
And Lucy.
And this has been another episode of Film Freaks with a Z. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.